All right, there we go. Hello. Let's see what's going on with this here. Let's get this rolling. There we go. Okay. How's everyone doing? My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws, and this is the Wednesday edition of the Daily Draw. We always get together on Wednesdays on the Daily Draw and take a look at something that has to do with portraits. And you can see by my picture that we have up here, we're going to talk about drawing noses. So let's jump right into this, okay? If you do have any questions, please just throw them in the chat. I'm watching that, and we will answer them as they come up. So let's see here now. Let me just make sure that I didn't lose connection. All right, let's bring this back up here. Every time my iPad goes to sleep, there it is. All right. Great. Okay, let's get into this here. So let's talk about a nose. Let's first draw a nose from a profile standpoint. So let me just take my glasses off and you can kind of look at my nose here from a profile. So let's talk about that. So you're going to have the glabella. This is this little section of the nose right there, okay? Then you're going to have the bridge of the nose. It's going to come on down like that. And then we're going to have the underside of the nose. Something like that. And then you're going to have the nostril that sits on top of this. And it's going to curl up like this. And then it's going to come down something like that, you see? And then this little part right here, this actually will curl up into the nostril there. All right, so that's a side view. Let's look at it from the front view. So a front view, okay, you're going to have the glabella. It's going to come down like this. All right, in fact, let's do this. What have I done here? Let's duplicate this. Let me just put that over there like that. Move that over. Hold on here, I got it. There we go. Okay. Just kind of reorganizing my my board here. All right. So you have the glabella. All right. The glabella comes down here. It's like a keystone. All right. And if you don't know what a keystone shape is, if you have an arch, let's just say you have an arch like this. You don't have to draw this. I'm just showing it to you. If you have an arch like this, and this is made of stone, the stone up here on the very top is called the keystone. This is the keystone. Okay? So the top of the nose has a keystone shape to it. All right? Usually we'll come down here, it'll get a little bit wider. And then usually you have, this is the line, or this is where it will then go underneath. Okay, so it's going to come in like this. And this kind of is a sense of a man's tie, if you wanted to think of that idea like this. You see a man's tie? Usually you have like the ball of the nose. This is going to be the tip of the nose. It's going to be right there. And then you have the wings. So like our profile, our wings are going to come out like this. And that's your basic front view of your nose. Probably one of the biggest things you could walk away with today is, let's just say that we had a sphere, and the sphere was being shadowed, and usually, you know, you're going to get light coming from the top. So this sphere is going to be shadowed underneath like this. And usually what happens, it will have a darker edge right here because you're getting reflective light underneath. And in our example, this is a great example of reflective light. And I'll show that to you if you don't see it. Look at the, I'll erase this. Look at the edge right here. And you could see, now I'm going to erase that so you could see it. Look at that reflective light coming up on the underside of that nose. You always want to look for that reflective light, and even if it's not there, I would even add it because it just helps to give things a very round feel to it. All right. Now that tip of the nose might be high or might be low. So let's kind of look at a 3/4. Okay, so let's just say we're going to come out like this. That's kind of the edge of the nose right there. And in this one, the nose is going to stand up. So it's going to be up. So we might come down like that. See the underside there? And then you might have a nostril slightly pointing through on the other side. Okay, and now look at this girl. We're going to come back and draw these in just a second, but okay, so let's get that Gabella up on top. All right, so we're going to come down like this. Now, this is interesting. Look at this. This is where I started my Gabella, right here. Okay. And now look at the tip. The tip of the nose is just to the right of that. So, if I'm going to put the tip of the nose, I'm going to make sure I'm going to push it to the right slightly. It's going to have that angle. And then look at this. Look at the side of that picture is straight up and down. Look at that. That is almost straight up and down the side of that nose there, you see? But now the other side has a real steep angle. And look at this. Where does this line up? Look, there's the other side of the Gabella that I've drawn. This edge almost lines up dead center. You see that? Dead center. Come down here. Get my angle right. So now we've got this angle. It's going to follow that angle as well, and that one down there, you see? There's that angle, that one, and that one. Okay, now we can start to connect the dots a little bit, right? This was my center line. It is 3/4, so I pushed it off center there. And there you go. Really what I want you to see though today is this shape. That's the shape of our nose there. Okay? So let's go ahead in the time that's remaining and draw through each one of these noses. All right, so there's our 3/4 view one. So we'll turn that off. And this is going to be number 1. So let's draw number 1 here, all right? So let's just do a quick gesture, right? So I'm just going to hold back my pencil. All right, just a quick gesture. So now, once you get gestural lines on the page, now you can make some adjustments to it. So, you know, right away, if I was to look at my gesture, it kind of has a twisted feel where that's not the way that the nose is on the other guy. So we're gonna do this one over here first. So I'm gonna work from the tip of his nose. And I'm only thinking of like flat planes right now. All right, look at this. Look at the nostril over here. And it flares out to there just like that. And I can see the other nostril is right behind here. Look at that. We're freezing up here. Just give it a second. It usually corrects itself. Oh, I see what's going on. My backup started. Give a second here. Okay, I think we're back now. We're back. All right, let's keep going. Okay. There it is. All right, now we're back. All right, so we got our nose there, right? All right. I am not going to leave this till we are set. Okay, so we have our gabella coming out. And so this is going to follow, these always follow that same angle. All right. And this also actually follows the angle of the brow line. So definitely want to remember that. Okay, let's jump over to this nose now, okay? All right, let's go ahead and do a quick gesture, and just this time look for the outside shape of this nose. It is almost like a diamond shape. Center line's coming down. You see that? Now this nose right here has a very round edge there. So let's even drop in. You could drop in a sphere if you wanted to. A nice oval. All right, we're going to come right around. And then look at this. Let's make sure we're following this angle here. So this is an angle. And then we'll get that same angle for the nostrils. Okay. Now, if you wanted to drop in this, earlier we talked about this reflective shadow there. So when I do my reflective shadows, I go in with a light tone, and then I come right in here and darken that tone up. Right on the edge there. Now this continues. The shadow is fantastic. So let's just kind of quickly map that out. And we can add a tone there for that as well. So now look at this. This is interesting. Look at the tone and the shadow, the value in the shadow, and I'm looking at the picture here. Look at the value in the shadow versus the value of the skin of the nose. So there's quite a bit of contrast there. So let's drop this tone down quite a bit back here. And you could even say that the tone that I put on my nose needs to be even more lighter than what it is. So if you had like a kneaded eraser, you could just come in there and work it up just a bit. Okay. Let's move on to this side view right here. All right, let's start with the outside, the outline there, and I'm looking at this negative shape here. Look at that. Okay. And then if this is the part there where the glabella comes in contact with the bridge of the nose, straight line down there. Okay, that gives me about where the bottom should come, how far back the bottom should come, right? So if we drop that down, we're going to come back just a little further. Okay, look at that nostril. That nostril sitting, think of it almost as like a little bit of clay that's sitting on top of this shape that we just drew. So this is coming under here. And then if you line up the back end, as long as we're here, if you line up the back end of our nostril, look at this. This is the back end. Wow, it's going to go to the left side of her eye, or this person's eye. This is the bridge. This is the part that goes in. Where's that too? Let's see that. That eye is going to be somewhere up there. Plus, look at this. See, look at this. You could kind of see that this distance, you see that? That's about the width. That's about how far back our eye should go. So if we go like this, it only goes back that distance. Let me erase this now. I know we're not working on eyes, but this is a good example of an eye in from a side view. Look at this. I always catch my mistakes, and I like to point them out to you. We're looking up at the person, and I drew I lost concentration, and I drew the lower eyelid this way, but in all reality, it should have gone the opposite way. Oops. I should have drawn it like this. You see the difference? Look at the picture. You could see that happening in the picture as well. Okay, let's go ahead lastly and bring up this older man here. Okay, this is also a 3/4 view. I like to get that angle there, right? There's the tip of his nose, right? Since it is 3/4, I'm thinking that I'm going to show more of this side than the other. This is just a gesture. Okay. Bottom of his nose here. Look at this. You could really get the sense of this, the ball of the mouth, and this happens when we get older. Just make sure on these 3/4 view, the side that's further away from you is all compressed. It's all foreshortened. Right? You could even look at trying to get his lips in, and if you were on to get the right distance, just look at that. Look at that negative shape. Okay. Lip. And there you go. Look at this. All this has a bit of a shadow to it. All right. I think we got it. So there were 6 different noses for you. We took a look at it, this in profile. We looked at it front view. We used the man's tie as kind of a framework. And then lastly, we went ahead and used vertical and horizontal lines to get our proportion in place. My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws. Thank you so much for watching and being patient while it was a little bit frozen. Have a great afternoon, everyone. See you later. Bye-bye.